Welcome back, everyone, to the W Sports Podcast. And that is right. We are back here today to recap this weekend in the NFL season. Now, there are two Monday Night Football games that we didn't get to include on this one, but that's because the NFL keeps doing these Monday Night Football games. I don't get it. It's all over the place. But Jimothy and Tubby, we're back at it again because this is the sports podcast that, you know what? You just got to listen. And we want to say thank you so much for listening and being a part of the podcast. Make sure you comment, subscribe, do all those kind of things. You guys know the drill. But we appreciate every single ounce of support you guys do. This is just something that we love doing, and we love talking sports, and we know you do too. So, Tubby, welcome back to the show, man.
Both of our teams pulled out big wins this weekend, so
Come on, KC.
yeah,
Trying to see
feeling pretty
which
good.
this side has the Chief logo. There you go. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is. So you can't. It's covered up by my headphones, but yeah, I got the Chiefs, and we'll get into that. Maybe we can start with the Chiefs. I guess since that game literally just ended a minute ago, but they absolutely run over the 49ers. I think that was the title. I was like, they just kept on going.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes didn't have any passing touchdowns this whole game. I mean, Travis Kelce never got it going. But it didn't matter. I mean, they literally just out physically played that team. And for the first time in 16 weeks of football games, the Chiefs scored 28 points. It's the most they scored, which is crazy. And they won a Super Bowl in that time. So, I mean,
yeah,
San Francisco's 3-4.
yeah. They out physicaled a physical team, and it was kind of shocking, honestly. I'm not
On the
saying
road.
that it's shocking that the Chiefs can out physical someone because they do have a very physical offense and defense, but the
Yeah.
fact that they were able to really just bully the 49ers was kind of shocking. And like I'm still just like dumbfounded by what we're seeing with the 49ers. Yeah, you did lose Debo, you did lose Aiyuk today, but still throughout the season, you've had most of your guys healthy outside of CMC and Debo here and there, and Kittle maybe one game, but I just don't understand what's going on with this team right now.
Yeah. It's I don't get it. It's kind of like
No,
I don't get what's going on with the Eagles, and I know they won again today, but like this team just doesn't look
no,
good. Um, and it's just the NFL maybe that we're at right now. We're at this weird turning point where people are gonna have to figure out, you know what, we should listen to what Tubby and Jimothy say about running the ball more because maybe that'll help when these offensive lines and these quarterbacks, the receiver, like it's just not good. But hey, Chiefs won. I'm happy about it. They're still undefeated, looking good.
yeah,
Packers walk off the Texans. That was a good game overall. I mean,
yeah,
Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Jaden Reed didn't do anything for me, which is stupid.
yeah.
But that's fantasy football. Who cares about that until later this week? So, tell me, what was your takes on this one?
The Packers defense is starting to look really good. You held CJ Stroud to 86 yards passing today. No
Insane.
touchdowns, no passing touchdowns. First time in his career he hasn't thrown a touchdown in a game. That Packers defense was flying, and they had CJ Stroud guessing the whole game. Joe Mixon had a heck of a game, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll have to shore up the run game a little bit more. But I really like the direction that the defense is going, and this is the defense I expected the last couple of years from the Packers with the guys that they've had, and now we're finally seeing it with this more aggressive, smash mouth defense that Jeff Hafley has brought. Now you pair that with a really good offense. This is a team that people are not going to want to see come into their stadium or go to Green Bay to play.
Yeah, and if people still don't realize that Jordan Love is a good quarterback, he got paid as he
Yeah,
should have. They had the weapons. They have a good run game overall. I mean, the defense. You put those pieces together. This is a team that should make a deep playoff run.
yeah,
However, it looks like there's another team that they're going to have to watch out for deep in the playoffs, and it's in their own division. And a
yeah,
lot of you might think I'm talking about the Vikings because they were undefeated coming into this week, but not anymore. The Lions nearly with a walk-off win, the very late field goal to put them ahead of the undefeated Vikings. They're now 5-1, and Gibbs is just absolutely. You talk about Mixon having a good game. Gibbs had an incredible game. Montgomery had a great combo off of him. Didn't have a huge game, but I think it kept him fresh. This Lions team, God, this is another great win. I know it's not.
yeah.
I mean, it's the Vikings, and people are like, are they for real? But we believe the Vikings are at least good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was a great win for them to take hold of the NFC North. And that is another thing. David Montgomery did actually get hurt today. And so
Oh,
that was why Gibbs really got the majority of the snaps and the production. He got hurt, I think, right before halftime. So
I
that
missed
was
it.
a big reason why Gibbs got a lot of the carry today. But it shows that even without David Montgomery, you still have an exciting running back there with Gibbs, and I think that's something we all knew, and I think a lot of people believe that he could be a bell cow back, and he kind of showed it today that you can really lean on him. And Jared Goff, they're showing the numbers of him whenever he gets pressured, and they are absolutely insane. Like
Yeah.
they pressured him on 52% of his dropbacks today, and he was 16 for 19 or something like that, or some crazy. Yeah, Jared Goff definitely deserves to be in that conversation right now for early MVP.
Look, isn't that it's crazy? I don't even think the Lions thought this when they traded Matt Stafford for Jared Goff.
No,
They thought he was going to be the bridge quarterback, and here he is. The last 3 weeks, he has what is it? What is it? 4 + 3 is 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. His completion percentage each of those games was 100% against the Seahawks, 72% against Dallas last year in a rout. We only had to throw 25 passes, and then this week it was at 88%. Each of those games he's thrown at least for 11, if not all the way up to 16 yards per attempt.
yeah, this team is a very dangerous team going forward, and like we said last week, I really believe these are the two teams that we will probably expect to see fighting for that NFC Championship right now. Looking at the rest of the NFC, because I don't really see another team. Maybe you could throw the Vikings in there if they're able to keep staying stingy defensive wise, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't trust Sam Darnold. Still going forward. We've seen him have stretches, maybe not as good as he's playing right now, but we've seen him have stretches where he's played solid football, and then all of a sudden it just falls off a cliff. But I
Yeah,
think
that's true.
these are definitely the two best teams for sure in the NFC right now.
Yeah, and Minnesota, like with this year with Minnesota, is so far his best career year. I mean,
Oh yeah.
QBR wise, touchdowns to interceptions, his yards per attempt are at 8.4, which is a pretty solid number,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the NFL. So I don't know, maybe he's the Jared Goff that we thought the Lions had a couple years ago. Maybe I'm just saying.
Maybe he very
Uh,
well could be.
Either way, they're both 5-1, and the Lions are also, don't forget this. They are 3-0 in the division. A big piece of it when you have three teams all competing right now in this division to keep on fighting. So
Yep.
it's good. And who knows? Maybe the Bears will keep winning too. I don't know if
Yeah.
I agree with that, but maybe they will.
I don't know. They've got a really tough, coming up
Upcoming. Yeah.
schedule. Yeah, upcoming schedule coming
Yeah.
because they'll finally, the NFC teams will finally start playing. NFC North teams will finally start playing each other in the next few weeks.
Yeah. You got Deshaun Watson got hurt today. He's probably done for a long time, if not an even longer time.
Yeah.
I think the only downside, if you're a Browns fan, is you're still going to be out all that money because you couldn't find cause to release him and get out of that contract with all the extra stuff, off the field that he
Yeah.
has had issues with and dismissed and all that kind of stuff. But Deshaun Watson, DK Metcalf, Aaron Aiyuk, Debo Samuel. I mean, you even mentioned David Montgomery. There's a lot of injuries this weekend. There's a lot of minor injuries that we're not going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about right now. But those outside of Watson, because we know he's not that good right now.
Yeah.
DK, Aiyuk, Debo. I mean, these are some big name guys that are out for a while.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Aiyuk didn't look good.
Yeah,
He got
DK got
hit.
caught it off.
Yeah, and I mean, so did Aiyuk.
I didn't see it.
So
Yeah,
yeah, his knee bent a way that it probably shouldn't been. So I would think that you're probably right now, if you're 49ers, thinking worst case possible, probably ACL, which you're hoping that's not the case. But the way it bent and the way he just laid there for a second definitely doesn't give you cause for being happy.
yeah. But the good news, there's no really good news. Joe Burrow got his first career win in Cleveland, which is crazy as long as he's been in the NFL so far. And Cleveland
Yeah.
has not been great.
No.
But they win 21-14. That Cleveland used 3 different quarterbacks in this game. There's no run game for Cincinnati. But tell me, this is a good thing. This is a good weekend for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, right?
Yeah, because you had to get the win. You had to get the win.
Yeah.
If you did not get the win, yeah, the world, the sky is falling, and we're going to see a lot of people, a lot of changes going on with that organization. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, the fact that that's his first win in Cleveland is crazy, and that's only his second win ever against the Cleveland Browns. Coming into the game, he was 1-5.
Yeah, yeah, that is weird. I think over the next couple weeks they play the next 2 weeks against the Eagles and the Raiders. So between those two games, I think there's the potential because we've talked about how the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles just haven't been played well. The Raiders are just not a good team right now.
No.
O'Connell also got hurt. That was one of the names that you mentioned right before we hit record. There's a chance you look up and all of a sudden they are 5-4. People are saying, are they putting it together? And then you have to look at who they have beat so far and who they've lost. They beat the Panthers, the Giants, the Browns, the last 3 wins out of 4 weeks. They lost to the
Mm-hmm.
Ravens. They couldn't stop them. They lost to the Commanders, and they lost to the Chiefs and the Patriots one. We just can't even understand that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know that this is still a good team yet. I got to see them beat. They have to beat the Eagles, the Ravens. Got to go and I mean, honestly, those are their big games. That's 2
Yeah.
games left in the season that are going to be tough. They get to play Dallas at Dallas, so that's good stuff
Win.
there. It's just not even a hard schedule. You look
Yeah.
at the end of the season, this Bengals team has everything they need to make a playoff run.
Yeah. But it's going to come down to that defense. If that defense can improve, they'll have a shot. If that defense cannot improve, it's going to be tough for them week in, week out, just because that defense is going to struggle. And it really in the NFL, unless you just absolutely don't have a quarterback worth a darn, you're going to have a hard time just because it is the NFL.
Yeah. Well, do you think anyone woke up early to watch the Jags and Patriots, by the way?
I did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to see Drake May, rookie quarterback, so I get it. Plus, you are Tubby. This is how you stay so informed.
Hey, Drake looked great.
How much is that is him, and how much of that is the Jags?
That
That's where I'm
is
struggling.
that is a big thing. But also you got to look at it though and go, at least he played good against a bad defense.
Okay, I like that. I like this spin.
The offensive line is going to be a big problem for them, but I like that he the thing was he didn't make the mistakes. He didn't force the football, and when he needed to, he would tuck it and run. And that's what is really key when it comes to a young quarterback, them knowing when to call it good and either throw it away, or if you have the mobility like he has, to tuck it and maybe get a few yards to maybe set yourself up for a better chance at converting for a first down. So the fact that he wasn't forcing it like he did the first game, his first start, I think is a great sign for them going forward. And it just goes to show, it was only 5 weeks, but those 5 weeks were huge for him to sit and learn.
Yeah.
Because I think if he didn't sit and learn, we wouldn't be talking about Drake May like this right now, because he would have been forcing the football more.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't really mention this yet. Jaden Daniels got hurt today.
Yeah, that's another one. We'll see, rib injury, whether or not they just kept him out because they were thrashing the Panthers.
Cruising.
And what's the point? By the time he got hurt, it was 20-0. So no reason to put him back in. Or is it going to be a lingering issue? He tried to throw the football on the sideline, and you can tell he was in pretty good pain.
Yeah. And so maybe time helps that, but usually with rib injuries, it's going to hurt more tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I will say, what's the point of putting him back in? My fantasy team, I'm in our league, and the dudes out there got me, what was it, point? And I looked at the score, 47. I was like, yeah, my first drive got me 5 points, but it does look like I should still win because this other dude is trash. So that's okay. It's okay.
Hey, win's a win.
Win is a win. That's what the W Sports Podcast is about. The W, again, everybody, in case you didn't know, is for win. So,
absolutely.
All right, Tua might be back next week.
Yeah, shocker. He got cleared in practice this week.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's a good thing or bad. Yeah, exactly. Who's clearing this guy to play football? I don't know, but you probably should have your license revoked.
Yeah, and maybe a lawyer in about 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't understand, why he's cleared to play. And really, at this point, does it even matter? I mean, maybe because the AFC isn't, there's not a whole lot of top-tier AFC teams besides the ones that we thought.
Yeah.
And maybe they can potentially sneak in. I don't think they can, but you're, they 2-5 right now? What's the point?
2-4, yeah. It's not good.
No.
Yeah, they're terrible right now. They do need a quarterback. They are terrible.
They're averaging 12 points a game.
It's pretty bad. But what was the most like? Oh, who cares? This weekend you had Drew Locke coming back in or Mason Rudolph.
Both.
It's my point though. It's like I don't
Yeah.
understand why you put in Mason Rudolph. I don't get that one.
Well,
Help
I
me
think
understand.
Levis was hurt
Yeah.
going into the week, so I don't know if it was, maybe he tweaked something again, and they're just like, okay, either that or maybe they're just like, wow, this guy is really bad. Why is he our starting quarterback? And Brian Callahan sitting over there going, I didn't draft this guy, so he's not my quarterback.
Well, let me ask you this: would you have drafted Will Levis, Tubby?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm just saying. Tubby had this one all along. The thing that really frustrated me, this is kind of the last QB thing I had. The Dolphins who lost to the Colts today. Anthony Richardson is back. Richardson is back 10 for 24 for 129. All the dude is doing is just running the ball. He's not an NFL quarterback, and I don't know how long it's going to take him to realize he's got 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a completion percentage below 50%.
Yeah. Ooh, ask me if I would have drafted him.
Hey, would you have drafted Anthony Richardson?
Absolutely not.
That's right. Yeah, because this is the same stuff he did in college. He's what is the thing that they said? They kept saying about he's not a good thrower of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a strong arm. Got a strong arm. Yeah.
It's like being a pitcher in Major League Baseball, being a reliever, and like you're wild all over the place because you can throw the ball hard, but you can't pitch. You can't command. And that's what you have to do in the NFL. I don't know how long they're going to sit on this Anthony Richardson thing. It's only 2 years, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I had Stroud, Bryce Young. I had Hendon Hooker as my third quarterback in that draft class. And I had Will Levis because I thought maybe there's a few more mechanical things that they could fix. And he honestly is better than Anthony Richardson is.
Yeah.
And then I had Richardson, and I only put him there because the rest of the quarterbacks in that draft class
didn't have
were
the
not
top.
great.
Yeah, they don't have the top end. Like, well, if it hits,
Yeah.
maybe I don't see it at all. So, yeah, it's gross. Yeah. Sorry we are ending the podcast on a sour note. Let's have a good note. Tubby, do the Dodgers win and clinch the NLCS, or are we looking at a Subway Series, the World Series, as this thing releases?
I sure hope we win.
Let's go Dodgers! Come on, that'd be an incredible World Series. That's what we want.
Yeah, that's what baseball needs. That's what everyone wants. To keep the viewership up the way it has been throughout the playoffs.
It's incredible.
Come on, Dodgers, Yankees, World Series. Let's do it.
Yeah, and this is just a precursor. Juan Soto, please re-sign with the Yankees if you're not going to go to the Cardinals. It just makes sense. It just makes sense.
He already said he's coming to the Dodgers because he wants to play with Shohei.
There's no way that's true.
No, he said he wanted to play with Shohei.
No, he's going to play there. They're going to win the World Series. There's no way. That would be so stupid.
I don't think there's any way the Dodgers sign him. They're going to go try to sign other people just because they have other holes.
Oh, yeah, it's wild to me to think that the team like the Dodgers has gaps in their team. But anyway, guys, that is the W Sports Podcast. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the show because guess what? Tubby and I are giving away a signed NFL jersey. It's actually mostly Tubby. He's the one who has it. But because you support the show, we want to say thank you so much with a free giveaway. We're going to do one every single month. So make sure you subscribe. That is the way you qualify. So till then, we'll see you all next time.
See ya.
See ya.